everything and everything in its time. This is something I was contemplating today on the way back from some errands that I was running earlier today. You know, we know the saying, there's a place for everything and everything in its place. But I was also thinking there's a time for everything and everything in its time. And I was contemplating that because I had a nice clear week, not too many scheduled appointments because I wanted to spend some time doing some deep work, some development of my vision and creative offerings that are coming up into the fall and winter, and just wanted to dedicate some real time to that. And as it turns out, I had a friend who spontaneously decided to send me a message after not speaking for a few years, who lives on the other end of the world in South Africa, and telling me that she was here visiting with some families. So she was in the same city until the weekend and wondered if I might be able to get together tomorrow. And I thought, wonderful, because I actually had space in my schedule to be able to do that. Not only that, I just happened to be wanting to take an exercise class that's right across the street from where she has to meet tomorrow. And so sometimes and quite often life will unfold like that for us in the perfect way. And when we have enough space in our schedule, that we don't feel pressured or constricted or restricted or limited by the time and energy that we do have because we haven't packed it all in, you know. And I admit I used to do that a lot. I would pack everything I possibly could into a short space, and I was actually really good at it because I can actually get all of those things done. But I'm finding over time that when I create the space, yes, other things come in and could interfere or disturb, you know, the original plans like I had about doing the development for my business and my offerings and what I wanted to work on. But it also gave me an opportunity to say yes to the things that are meaningful and important that may show up unexpectedly. And this is what I think we're moving into, is developing a more integrated, higher consciousness model of living that allows us to make conscious choices that's not defined by obligations, not defined by meeting expectations or old habits. Also, when I was contemplating that everything has its time and everything in its own time, is that we don't always have to control the outcomes. And there may be also some opportunities where we have to develop into new ways of being, new ways of living our life, new opportunities we can say yes to when we create the space to do that. And that's not defined by our old ways of saying how we structure our time, for example, or what we dedicate our energy to, or just working on automatic, that we're maybe wanting to switch careers, for example, or take a different program in university, or go for something that we didn't quite see coming because we had a certain vision and outcome that we were trying to control and live up to. And that can be very limiting. That can feel kind of restrictive and promote that fear of missing out on other things as they might be coming up, or that we could be doing something different, where we're choosing by default what we had set out to do, as if we have to stay committed to that. And yes, it is very valuable to have commitments and dedication to your studies and for your work and for your business and for your family. However, you want to leave some room for other possibilities, to not be so limited by those things that you do dedicate your time to. There may be relationships, places of home that you consider home, ways that you want to be living that may not have been part of your life up to now. Like maybe you've been working so much and been so dedicated to your business or career or your family that you don't leave enough room for travel that you used to do. The old you would go on all of these different adventures. The old you would be really into, like I was, psychology as a degree. And believe it or not, when I first started out, I was going to planning on working with serial killers. I did my whole thesis on serial killing, a critical analysis of behavior and personality. And now I work with serial entrepreneurs instead. What a switch, right? And this is what happens as we evolve, we change, we get exposure to new things, new ideas, new people, and we realize just what else is possible for our lives. And then we get to make new choices from where we are now. So check in with yourself. See if you're still operating from old ways of being or old parts of you that may no longer fit in the kind of life that you're living right now or that you're wanting to be building for the future. Don't be constrained and limited by beliefs you think you have about trying to maintain those old ways, those old habits, those old beliefs, those old parts of you that you developed because of through dedication, that you think you want to stay loyal to those ideas. Be loyal to yourself and who you are now. Fully embrace who you are now, the parts of you that are emerging, that want to be expressed, and that would help you carry out your future rather than always looking on how to fit the past. Focus more on how you're building the future and what kind of life are you living now? Are you happy? Are you feeling joyful? What drives you these days? What's your true motivation and intention? Become more intentional and mindful of what you're choosing, how you're living your life. Is it aligned with your values, your current values, or is it reflective of the old you? And the old you meaning that the person that you kind of outgrown, outlived, and maybe there's more of you that you're discovering that you want to be curious about and explore new possibilities with. So I'd love to hear in the comments how this is landing for you, what kind of things are coming up for you as you hear these words. And I am always interested in what you have to say. So make sure you comment, like this video if you did, and maybe share it with someone who's considering some sort of change or transition or is going through some sort of midlife crisis and reconsidering how they want to live going forward. So I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in today on Awaken and Ascend. I am Jennifer Regular, also the founder of the Leadership Ascension Alliance and Lighting the Path. You can check out more about both of those on my website and find the Inspired Living blog there as well, which has some awesome articles that may inspire and empower you at lightingthepath.ca. Bye for now.